The starship New Horizon drifted through the darkness of space, its hull gleaming silver against the backdrop of distant stars. Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge, watching the screens that showed their position. After 3 months of travel, they had finally reached the edge of what their sensors detected as inhabited space. "Captain, we're picking up signals," said Lieutenant Sam Rodriguez from his station. "Multiple sources. They look like communication frequencies." Jake nodded and turned to Dr. Lisa Carter, who was studying the readings with excitement in her eyes. "What do you think, Doc? Are we looking at our first contact with alien life?" Lisa smiled and checked her instruments again. "The patterns are definitely artificial. Someone built whatever is sending these signals. This is it, Jake. We're about to meet our neighbors." The New Horizon carried 500 people from Earth. Some were scientists like Lisa. Others were engineers like Maya Johnson, who kept their ship running. Many were families hoping to start new lives among the stars. They had left Earth not knowing what they would find, but hoping to discover they were not alone in the universe. There, Maya called out from her engineering station. "I'm seeing ships, big ones. They're moving toward us." On the main screen, dots of light appeared and grew larger. Soon they could see the ships clearly. They were elegant and smooth, nothing like the tough angular design of human vessels. These alien ships looked like they were made for beauty rather than survival. "They're trying to talk to us," Sam reported. "I'm getting a signal on multiple frequencies." "It sounds like they're trying to establish communication." Jake straightened his uniform. "Put me through to them. Let's make a good first impression." The screen flickered and showed the interior of an alien ship. The being that appeared was tall and thin, with pale blue skin and large eyes. It moved with careful, graceful motions as it spoke in a voice that sounded like music. "Greetings, unknown travelers. I am Ambassador Yilthara of the Galactic Union. We welcome you to our space. Please identify yourselves and state your intentions." Lisa stepped forward. "Ambassador, I'm Dr. Lisa Carter, representing humanity from the planet Earth. This is Captain Jake Morrison. We come in peace, seeking friendship and knowledge." Yilthara's large eyes blinked slowly. "Humanity? Earth? These names are not in our records. You must come from far away. We invite you to dock with our station so we may speak properly." Jake looked at his crew. This was the moment they had dreamed of. "We accept your invitation, Ambassador." The alien station was massive, easily 10 times the size of their ship. As they approached, Jake noticed something odd. The docking bay seemed very large and empty, as if it was built for ships much bigger than the ones he could see. "Their ships are pretty, but they look fragile," Maya observed as she piloted them into the docking bay. "Look at how thin those hulls are. One good hit and they'd break apart." Sam nodded. "And did you see how slowly they move? Our ship could run circles around them." When they docked, Jake felt the difference immediately. The artificial gravity on the alien station was much weaker than what they were used to. Walking felt like bouncing. Lisa had to be careful not to jump too high with each step. Ambassador Yilthara met them at the airlock, along with several other aliens. Jake noticed they all moved very carefully, as if they were afraid of breaking something. When Jake extended his hand for a handshake, Yilthara stepped back in alarm. "Your movements are so ... forceful," the ambassador said. "Are you well? Do you need medical assistance?" Lisa laughed gently. "We're fine, Ambassador. This is normal for us. Our home planet has stronger gravity than your station." They were led to a meeting room where more aliens waited. Jake counted representatives from what looked like 12 different species. All of them were staring at the humans with expressions that seemed worried. A large alien with golden skin and multiple arms stepped forward. "I am High Counselor Zethkar, leader of this sector. Tell us about your world, these humans." Lisa began to describe Earth. She talked about their blue skies and white clouds, their mountains and oceans. She mentioned the weather, how it could change from sunny to stormy in hours. She described their animals, from tiny insects to massive whales. As she spoke, the aliens began to look more and more disturbed. When she mentioned that humans could survive in temperatures from freezing cold to desert heat, several aliens gasped. When she explained that they regularly flew in metal machines through storms and turbulence, some aliens had to sit down. "Your world has predators?" asked a small furry alien with a shaking voice. "Creatures that hunt and kill others?" "Well, yes," Lisa said, not understanding why this upset them. "We have lions, tigers, bears, sharks. But humans learn to avoid them or protect themselves." "And you said your people engage in physical combat for sport?" Zethkar's voice was getting higher. "You intentionally hurt each other for entertainment?" Jake stepped in. "We have boxing, wrestling, martial arts. It's controlled and safe. We have rules and referees." "Safe?" Yulthara whispered. "You consider violence safe?" Maya had been quiet, but now she spoke up. "What's wrong?" "You're all acting like we're dangerous or something." The aliens exchanged looks that Jake was beginning to recognize as fear. A small alien with 4 eyes spoke up. "Your species evolved on a death world. Your gravity is 3 times what most of us can survive. Your atmosphere would burn our lungs. Your weather could kill us in minutes. Your animals are monsters from our nightmares. And you," Zethkar pointed at Jake, "you are the product of millions of years of evolution on this hell planet. You are built to survive what would destroy any civilized being." The room fell silent. Jake looked at his crew and saw the same confusion he felt. They had come in peace, but somehow they were being treated like monsters. "We're not dangerous," Lisa said softly. "We just want to be friends." "Friends?" Zethkar stood up, his golden skin turning darker. "You are Deathworlders. Your very existence threatens the peace of our galaxy. We cannot allow beings like you to roam free among civilized species." Jake felt anger rising in his chest. "What are you saying?" "I am saying," Zethkar announced, "that you will submit to protective custody. For the safety of all, or we will be forced to take action against your ship and your people." The temperature in the room seemed to drop. Jake looked at the 12 species represented around the table, all staring at him with fear and hostility. Behind him, he could feel Sam tensing for action and Maya calculating their chances. They had come seeking friendship among the stars. Instead, they had found beings who saw them as walking nightmares. The peaceful first contact they had dreamed of was turning into something much darker. "We refuse," Jake said quietly, his voice carrying the weight of command that had been forged. "In Earth's harsh environment, we will not be your prisoners." The die was cast. The Deathworlders had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same. The silence in the meeting room stretched like a tight wire. Jake Morrison stood facing 12 alien species, all of them staring at him with what he now understood was pure terror. High Counselor Zethkar's golden skin had turned almost black. "With emotion, you refuse?" Zethkar's voice cracked. "Do you not understand what we are offering? Protective custody means safety for everyone. You would be cared for, studied, kept comfortable. Like animals in a zoo," Sam Rodriguez said from behind Jake. His hand rested near his sidearm, a movement that made several aliens step backward. Dr. Lisa Carter tried one more time to find peace. "Please, we can work together. We're not monsters. We're explorers, scientists, families seeking new homes." Ambassador Yulthara shook her head sadly. "You do not understand. In 1 hour of conversation, you have described horrors that haunt our worst nightmares. Your world kills its own children through weather alone. Your people fight each other with their bare hands for fun. You eat the flesh of other creatures." "That's just nature," Maya Johnson said, confused. "How do your people live?" A small alien with fur like silver silk spoke up. We grow nutrition crystals in Harmony Gardens. We have not known violence for 3,000 years. Our worlds are peaceful, our weather controlled, our gravity gentle. Jake was beginning to understand. These aliens had never faced hardship. They had never struggled to survive. They had never been tested by anything more dangerous than a mild breeze. "We need to leave," he said quietly to his team. Now, but it was too late. Through the windows of the space station, they could see ships arriving, dozens of them, then hundreds. The combined fleets of 12 civilizations were surrounding the New Horizon. "General Moxevo will handle this situation," Zefkar announced. "You will surrender your weapons and submit to containment." The meeting room door opened, and alien soldiers entered. Jake almost laughed when he saw them. They wore armor that looked like it was made of glass and carried weapons that seemed designed for creatures who had never seen real conflict. The soldiers themselves moved like they were afraid of their own shadows. "Stand down, humans," the lead soldier said in a voice that shook with nervousness. Sam looked at Jake, waiting for orders. Maya had moved closer to a control panel on the wall. Lisa was still trying to think of words that might prevent violence. "No," Jake said simply. What happened next shocked everyone in the room. The alien soldier who had given the order fell backward just from Jake's refusal. The force of his voice, the presence of a being bred for survival, was too much for creatures raised in perfect safety. "Run," Jake told his team. They moved with speed that the aliens could not match. Sam pushed past 3 soldiers, and they scattered like leaves in the wind. Maya grabbed a piece of alien technology from the wall, and it crumbled in her hands like paper. Lisa helped Jake clear a path through aliens who seemed unable to cope with any kind of resistance. Behind them, alarms were screaming. The station's emergency systems were calling for help in 12 different languages, but the humans were already at their ship. "Get us out of here," Jake ordered as they reached the bridge. Maya's fingers flew over the controls. The New Horizon disconnected from the station and began to move. Around them, the alien fleet was trying to form an attack formation, but their ships moved so slowly that it was like watching a dance performed underwater. "They're trying to surround us," Sam reported from his weapons station. 200 ships and counting. "Their targeting systems are locking onto us," Maya added. "But Jake, you need to see this." On the screen, she showed him the readings from the alien weapons. Jake stared in disbelief. "These energy levels wouldn't even scratch our paint." "It gets better," Maya continued. "Look at their ship construction." She pulled up detailed scans. "Their hulls are made of materials weaker than aluminum foil. Their engines can barely push them faster than our emergency thrusters." A communication came through from the alien fleet. General Moxevo appeared on screen, his species looking like a cross between an insect and a plant. "Human vessel, you are completely surrounded. Surrender now, and you will not be harmed." "General," Jake replied, "I think you have this backward." The first alien ships opened fire. Beams of colored light struck the New Horizon's shields and did absolutely nothing. The human ship didn't even slow down. "Return fire," Jake ordered. "Minimum power." Sam pressed a single button. A low-energy pulse from their defensive systems hit the nearest alien ship. The result was immediate and terrifying for the aliens. Their ship didn't just take damage. It broke apart like it was made of glass. Panic spread through the alien fleet. Ships began trying to retreat, but they moved so slowly that the New Horizon could easily keep pace with them. "We need to disable their engines, not destroy them," Lisa said. "We're not killers." "Agreed," Jake said. "Sam, target their propulsion systems only." What followed was less like a battle and more like an adult dealing with frightened children. The New Horizon moved through the alien fleet, its superior speed and maneuverability making it impossible to target. Each time it fired, another alien ship lost power and drifted helplessly in space. On board the alien vessels, Crews were experiencing their first taste of real fear in generations. General Moxiville watched his mighty fleet being neutralized by a single ship and felt something his species had forgotten, the terror of being prey. "How is this possible?" he whispered to his aide. "Our weapons have no effect. Our ships cannot match their speed or strength." Meanwhile, on the New Horizon, Maya was studying captured alien technology. "Jake, you won't believe this. Their computers use processing systems that we abandoned 50 years ago. Their materials science is centuries behind ours. They have advanced peaceful technology, but nothing designed for harsh conditions." They never needed it, Lisa realized. They evolved on gentle worlds. They never faced storms, earthquakes, predators, or resource scarcity. They never had to build things tough enough to survive Earth. Sam was monitoring alien communications. "They're calling for backup from all 12 homeworlds. They think we're an invasion force." Jake made a decision that would echo across the galaxy. Instead of destroying more ships or trying to fight his way through the entire alien civilization, he opened a channel to broadcast to all the ships around them. "This is Captain Jake Morrison of Earth," he said. "We came in peace. We wanted to be friends. But you have decided we are your enemies based on fear and misunderstanding. We are leaving your space, but we will not forget how you treated us, and we will not let you threaten our people." The New Horizon began to accelerate away from the alien fleet. But Jake wasn't finished. He had one more message to send, and this one would go directly to Earth. "Priority transmission to Earth Command," he recorded. "First contact achieved with hostile alien coalition. They view humans as dangerous creatures from a death world. They attempted to imprison our entire crew and threatened our ship. We are returning home, but they may follow. Recommend immediate defensive preparations." As the New Horizon jumped to faster-than-light speed, leaving the alien fleet far behind, none of them realized that they had just started something much bigger than a simple first contact gone wrong. On 12 different worlds, emergency councils were being called. The impossible had happened. Their perfect, peaceful galaxy had been invaded by creatures from their darkest nightmares. Creatures who could survive what would kill them, who could fight when they could barely comprehend violence, who came from a world so terrible that it had forged them into living weapons. The Deathworlders had escaped, and now the aliens faced a terrible question. How do you fight an enemy who is stronger, faster, and tougher than anything your civilization has ever produced? The hunt was about to begin, but who was really the hunter and who was the prey remained to be seen. The message from the New Horizon reached Earth 3 weeks after the first contact disaster. Admiral Kate Sullivan read Captain Morrison's report in her office overlooking the Pacific Ocean, and with each word, her expression grew darker. "They tried to imprison our people," she said to her aide, Commander Ryan Beck. "They called us monsters and threatened our ship." "What are your orders, Admiral?" Ryan S. Kate looked out at the ocean, watching waves crash against the shore with enough force to sink the alien ship she had seen in Morrison's data files. "Prepare the fleet. 50 ships, 10,000 personnel. If they want to see what Deathworlders can really do, we'll show them." Meanwhile, across the galaxy, panic was spreading through the 12 worlds of the Galactic Union. High Counselor Zethkar stood before an emergency assembly, his golden skin pale with fear. "The Deathworlders have escaped," he announced to representatives from all member species. "They have returned to their hellish planet, and we must assume they are preparing for war." Ambassador Yilthara stepped forward. "Counselor, perhaps we acted too quickly. They said they came in peace." "Peace?" General Moxiville's insect-like features twisted with anger. "They destroyed 30 of our ships without taking a single casualty. They moved through our fleet like we were standing still. These creatures are weapons disguised as beings." In a research facility on the Union's capital world, Researcher Quintal was studying the data they had gathered about humans. What he found kept him awake for days. The more he learned about Earth, the more terrified he became. "Look at these numbers," he said to his assistant, showing readings on a screen. "Their world has gravity that would crush most of our species. Their atmosphere contains gases that would burn our lungs. Their weather includes storms with winds stronger than our fastest ships." "Surely you're mistaken," his assistant said. "No life could evolve in such conditions." "But they did," Quintal whispered. "And worse, they didn't just survive these conditions. They learned to enjoy them. Listen to this recorded data from their ship. They participate in activities called extreme sports, where they deliberately put themselves in danger for fun." Back on Earth, the human fleet was preparing for launch. The ships were nothing like the elegant, delicate vessels of the Galactic Union. These were built to survive asteroid impacts, solar radiation, and the crushing forces of interstellar travel. They looked more like flying fortresses than spaceships. Captain Morrison stood in the briefing room of the flagship Earth's Pride, addressing the mission commanders. "We're not going to start a war," he said firmly. "But we're not going to let them threaten innocent people either. Our families, our children, our future, they all depend on us showing these aliens that humans are not to be pushed around." Dr. Lisa Carter had been studying the alien technology they had captured. "Jake, I've been analyzing their weapons and defenses. It's worse than we thought. Their entire civilization is built around the idea that violence doesn't exist. They have no concept of military engineering." Maya Johnson nodded from her seat. "Their computers can't even process combat scenarios. When I tried to run a simple battle simulation on their systems, the program crashed. It's like their technology refuses to acknowledge that conflict is possible." Lieutenant Sam Rodriguez looked up from his tactical reports. "So what happens when we arrive with 50 warships designed for Earth's military? They're going to think we're bringing hell itself to their doorstep," Lisa said quietly. The human fleet launched on a Tuesday morning. 50 ships carrying the combined military might of Earth's defense forces. They were not going to conquer or destroy, but the aliens didn't know that. All the aliens would see were vessels built for war by a species that had never known perfect peace. 3 weeks later, the Galactic Union's early warning systems detected the approaching human fleet. The reaction was immediate and complete panic. 50 ships, General Moxville reported to the Emergency Council. "Each one larger and more heavily armed than anything in our combined fleets." "How is that possible?" Zethkar demanded. "We sent 200 ships against one of theirs, and they defeated us easily. Now they're bringing 50? Researcher Quintal stepped forward with his latest findings. "Counselor, I've been studying human culture through their broadcasts. I need to tell you what these creatures are capable of." He activated a holographic display showing images from Earth's history. They have fought wars involving their entire species. They have built weapons capable of destroying their own planet. They have survived ice ages, plagues, natural disasters. That would wipe out our civilizations. "But that's impossible," whispered Ambassador Yulthara. "How can any species survive such things and still be sane?" "They're not sane," Quintal said. "Not by our standards. They call their planet home and speak of it with love, even though it tries to kill them every day. They have turned surviving hell into an art form." The human fleet arrived at the edge of Union space and stopped. Admiral Sullivan's voice broadcast across all Union frequencies. "This is Admiral Kate Sullivan of the Earth Defense Fleet. We are here to discuss the treatment of our diplomatic mission. We seek peaceful resolution, but we will not accept threats against human lives." The response from the Union was immediate. Surrender offers from 6 different species. "We surrender," came a message from the Yultharis people. "Please don't hurt us. We'll give you anything you want." But other species were not ready to give up. General Moxville convinced 3 of the military species to make a stand. We cannot let these monsters think we are weak, he argued. The combined alien fleet that met the humans numbered over 800 ships. It was the largest military force the Union had ever assembled. Against 50 human vessels, it should have been overwhelming. The battle lasted exactly 17 minutes. Human ships moved through the alien formations like sharks through schools of fish. Their weapons, designed to penetrate asteroid belts and destroy space rocks, tore through alien hulls like paper. Their defenses, built to survive cosmic radiation and meteor storms, laughed off alien energy beams. But the most terrifying thing for the aliens wasn't the human technology. It was the humans themselves. When alien boarding parties managed to reach human ships, they found themselves facing beings who could fight effectively, even in damaged suits, who could think clearly under stress that would paralyze any Union member, who treated desperate battle like a routine training exercise. "They're not even trying," General Moxville whispered as he watched human soldiers casually disable his best troops. "This is just another day for them." Admiral Sullivan stood on her bridge, watching alien ships surrender by the dozens. "Jake," she said to Captain Morrison on the communication screen, "I think they're starting to understand." "Understand what?" Jake asked. "That we didn't come from just any world," Kate replied. "We came from the world that makes monsters. And they just declared war on all of us." The battle was over, but the real war was just beginning. The aliens had two choices now: find a way to make peace with the Deathworlders, or face the possibility that 50 ships was just the beginning of what Earth could send their way. Deep in Union space, emergency meetings were being called on every world. The question was no longer how to contain the human threat. The question was how to survive it. The silence after the battle was deafening. 800 alien ships floated disabled in space, their crews alive, but their vessels powerless. The 50 human ships waited in formation, their weapons silent, but ready. Admiral Kate Sullivan stood on the bridge of Earth's Pride, watching the defeated alien fleet. She felt no joy in the victory. These beings had attacked out of fear, not evil. Now they were learning what it meant to provoke a species that had clawed its way to the top of a Deathworld's food chain. "Admiral," came a trembling voice over the communication system. "This is High Counselor Zethkar. We request permission to speak." Kate nodded to her communications officer. "Put him through." The golden-skinned alien appeared on screen, his color now pale and washed out. Behind him, Kate could see the representatives of all 12 species, and every one of them looked terrified. "Admiral Sullivan," Zethkar began, his voice shaking. We have made a terrible mistake." "Yes, you have," Kate replied simply. "Please," Ambassador Yilthara stepped forward. "We surrender completely. We will give you anything you ask for. Just please don't destroy our worlds." Kate studied the alien faces on her screen. These were not evil beings. They were simply creatures who had never faced real hardship, who had never learned that the universe could be cruel and unforgiving. "We don't want to destroy your worlds," she said. "We never did. We came here because you threatened our people." "But you are Deathworlders," whispered one of the smaller aliens. "You come from hell itself. How can you not want to conquer and destroy?" Captain Jake Morrison stepped beside Kate on the screen. "Because surviving hell doesn't make you evil. It just makes you strong." Dr. Lisa Carter joined them. "We need to talk. All of us, face to face." 3 hours later, they met on a neutral station between the two fleets. The contrast was stark, humans walking normally while aliens moved carefully in the low gravity they needed to survive. When Jake shook hands with Zethkar, the alien counselor nearly fell over from the gentle pressure. "Tell us about your worlds," Lisa said as they sat around a conference table. "Help us understand how you live." Slowly, the aliens began to describe their civilizations. They spoke of worlds where the weather was always perfect, where dangerous animals had been extinct for thousands of years, where violence was so rare that most species had forgotten it existed. We grow our food in Harmony Gardens, Ylthara explained. Our cities float in the sky to avoid any ground-based dangers. Our children learn from birth that cooperation is the only way to survive. That sounds wonderful, Maya Johnson said, and she meant it. But what happens when something goes wrong? When there's an emergency? The aliens looked confused. Nothing goes wrong, Zethkar said. We have controlled our environments for millennia. We eliminated randomness, danger, uncertainty. But what if an asteroid hits your world? Sam Rodriguez asked. What if your son starts to die? What if there's a natural disaster you can't control? The silence that followed was telling. These species had never faced such possibilities. They had built their civilizations assuming that nothing bad would ever happen. Researcher Quintal spoke up. We have been studying your species since the first encounter. We cannot understand how you function. Your world tries to kill you every day, yet you thrive. You face storms that would level our cities, yet you call them weather. You have creatures on your planet that could destroy our armies, yet you keep them in zoos for your children to see. Jake laughed, but it wasn't cruel. We keep them in zoos because they're beautiful. Dangerous, yes, but beautiful. We learn to appreciate the things that challenge us. This is what we don't understand, General Moxivil said. How can you find beauty in something that wants to kill you? Because, Lisa said gently, surviving something difficult makes you stronger, and becoming stronger feels good. We don't seek out danger, but when it finds us, we face it. Suddenly, alarms began ringing throughout the station. A panicked voice came over the intercom. Emergency. Massive asteroid detected on collision course with Kepler-7. Impact in 6 hours. All ships evacuate immediately. The aliens began to panic. Kepler-7 was one of their most populated worlds, home to billions of beings. The asteroid was too large to destroy and moving too fast to deflect with their technology. Our ships can't get close enough, Zethkar said, his voice breaking. The radiation and gravity fields around the asteroid will kill our crews before they can do anything. Kate looked at Jake, then at her crew. They all knew what had to be done. We can help, she said simply. What? Ylthara stared at her. You would help us? After what we did to you? You're not evil, Jake said. You were just scared. And right now you need help. The human ships moved toward the asteroid with a speed and precision that amazed the aliens. The radiation that would kill alien crews was just another day at the office for humans who lived under a star that could give them cancer. The gravity fields that would crush alien ships were handled easily by vessels built to survive. Earth's crushing embrace. Maya worked alongside alien engineers, showing them techniques they had never imagined. You don't fight the forces, she explained, as human ships use the asteroid's own gravity to change its course. You work with them. You use the universe's power instead of trying to overcome it. Sam coordinated the mission with alien fleet commanders, teaching them how to work under pressure. Don't think about what could go wrong, he told them. Think about what needs to be done. Lisa worked with alien scientists, showing them how human medicine could help their people survive. The stress of the emergency. Fear is natural, she said. But you can't let it control you. The asteroid missed Kepler-7 by a safe margin. Billions of lives were saved by the Deathworlders they had tried to imprison. In the aftermath, as both fleets floated in space. Near the saved world, Zethkar made a proposal that would change the galaxy forever. We have been fools, he said to the assembled representatives. We feared you because you are different. But today you showed us that different can be good. You saved our people when we could not save ourselves. What are you proposing? Admiral Sullivan asked. Partnership, Ylthara said. We have technologies that could make your lives easier. Medical advances, energy systems, communication networks. Things that could help your people. And you, Zethkar continued, you have something we need. Strength, courage, the ability to face the universe when it turns dangerous. Jake smiled. So we help each other. You make our lives more comfortable, and we help you when things get tough. The Deathworld protocols, Lisa suggested. Guidelines for how our species can work together safely. Over the following months, the galaxy changed. Humans became the emergency responders of the Union, the ones called when situations were too dangerous for other species. They built joint training facilities where alien crews could learn to handle stress and danger in small, manageable doses. Alien technology began appearing on Earth. Medical devices that could heal injuries in minutes. Energy systems that were cleaner and more efficient than anything humans had developed. Communication networks that connected Earth to the galactic community. The children of both civilizations grew up learning about each other. Human kids were amazed by alien technologies that seemed like magic. Alien kids watched human children play sports and climb trees with wonder, slowly learning that strength and gentleness could exist in the same beings. Captain Morrison stood on the observation deck of the first joint human-alien space station, watching ships from 15 different species work together. Earth's children were playing with alien youngsters in specially designed playgrounds, while human engineers worked alongside alien scientists on projects that would benefit everyone. You know, he said to Lisa, who was watching the same scene, I think we're going to be all right. Better than all right, she replied. We're going to be stronger together than any of us could be alone. The Deathworlders had arrived, and the aliens had indeed regretted everything, but only their initial fear and hostility. Now they were grateful that the universe had sent them partners who could face the darkness while they provided the light. Galaxy was no longer a place where only the gentle could survive. It had become a place where the gentle and the strong could thrive together, each making the other better than they could ever be alone.